Greetings! I'm Rob Chapman from Chapman Guitars, and today it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you the incredibly stunning ML3 Pro Traditional. And I want to talk in particular about the changes to the 2017 Pro Traditional from the previous 2016 range. Talk it through, show you what's different, give you some tones. All of the tones you're hearing are courtesy of the Red Dwarf, a bunch of cool pedals including the Golden Plexi. I'm also using the Voodoo Labs Pro Octavia. I'm also using the Mjolnir, I think it's pronounced. And lastly, Sea Guitars, which is a great looking fuzz pedal that makes ridiculously stupid sounds. That was my Mjolnir. All of that is just going through a Rode NT1A straight into a Focusrite preamp, into Logic, and I'm not doing anything to the audio. All you're going to be hearing is the mic'd up cab and a little bit of room ambience. That's it. Just to kind of give you the idea of how it would sound if you were stood right there where the camera is. So, ML3 Pro Traditional. Why is it one of my favourite guitars from the new Chapman 2017 range? I'll give you several really good reasons. Firstly, it's so lightweight. This is a much thinner body from the 2016 version. We just decided to slim it back a little bit. Something that doesn't really make a difference to the sound, but it does make a big difference to the way it feels. We felt it was a little bit thick in the middle, and it just kind of felt like it was a little bit too much under the arm, and it was adding to a little bit of weight that was just unrequired, surplus to requirements. So we slimmed it down. It's a thinner version, and it's much, much lighter weight. Interestingly, I have noticed it makes a difference to the way it sustains. Not necessarily the tone, but the way it sustains, which it just sings, man. There are so many little harmonic areas. You probably know if you've had a guitar for a few years, you'll find one note or two notes that just, when you hit a note, it kind of sings for a long time because it causes like a standing wave or something happens in the infrastructure of the guitar to cause a note to really want to do its thing. Well, on this particular guitar, there's like 4 or 5 of those, and it's just really pleasurable playing it because of that. New on this guitar, and for the 2017 Pro line, we've got steel frets. Mega hard wearing. You can do what you want to these bad boys. It's not going to make much difference. They're going to last a lifetime, probably, unless, of course, you start doing something really stupid. So steel frets throughout. We have glow-in-the-dark side inlays. Now, Rabia and I decided this was probably a really good idea for the Chapman Pro range when we played a gig where we just couldn't see anything. The lighting was awful. We couldn't hear anything because the sound was awful, and we thought, oh my god, everything's against us. If only we could see where we were playing in the dark. And so these high intensity glow-in-the-dark side dots were a thing And what we do is you charge it with a torch before you go on stage, just beam a torch on it, and then you're off, you're playing, and honestly, it just glows in your face. Especially when you get to a strobe section where it's like, duh, 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 and you can't see anything, and lighties always do it during a solo. Don't you, Dave Wiley? And it causes you problems, but now it's no longer a problem. We got the hip shot open tuners, 18:1 ratio, incredibly stable. Put whatever gauge you want on and it's just going to hold it steady for you. We have brass saddles. This was something that I really wanted. I spent a lot of my career playing a Fender Telecaster that had brass saddles and a brass nut, and I noticed it was brighter on the open strings, and I think it had a lot to do with the brass. Now, sometimes it was a little bit too bright and a brass nut is not always to everybody's liking, so we just went with the brass saddles. Every single Chapman guitar in the 2017 line has pickups voiced specifically for that guitar. This took us so long, it's incredible how long it took us. This is what I call the Mojo Hand single coil set, specifically voiced for the ML3 Pro Traditional. Mojo Hand, it's a tip of the hat to one of my favourite blues players from a long time ago. Called Lightning Hopkins. And Mojo Hand set it's kind of a low output, traditional sounding set, but with enough bite in the mid sort of honky range that you really feel its presence, and it loves pedals, which is why I got a selection of these overdrives and fuzzes. I really like the sound of, basically I discovered that Yngwie and a bunch of other really cool players, when they're using single coils, don't use mega high output. They let the amp do the work for you and the volume speak it. So these are slightly chilled out, traditional, crisp, mid-range, pokey single coils, and they're absolutely stunning. I'm so proud of these. Chapman Pro Set Mojo Hand single coil pickups. Three-way, very, very simple. It's either that, or it's both, or it's that. You got a tone, you got a volume. We have rolled edges on the fingerboard so that you pick it up and it should feel like a guitar that you've been playing for a long time. That's the objective there. And I think we really got there. The neck is satin finish. There's no thick gloss gonna get in your way. This guitar is in the finish Triton, this particular one I'm holding now, which actually was just a big mistake. we were aiming for kind of like a greeny blue, kind of aqua blue, which is why my wife actually named the finish Triton, God of the Sea. And it came back looking like this, and we were like, man, it's not anything like we were aiming for, but it looks really cool. And it was a combination of putting one colour on and then taking it off and then trying to put another colour on and then realising that it was an error, but we liked it. So we've put all these guitars through the same process. In other words, it's a happy accident, and I love this finish. It's like a kind of aqua slate. It's like a submerged statue. It's like a juvenile whale. It's like a clouded blue sky. It's like a freshly deceased Smurf. If you need to know more about the specification of the ML3 Pro Traditional, you can just go to the Chapman Guitars website, which is in the description box right below my finger, probably about there. And you'll see everything you ever needed to know about this guitar, the pickups, you know, all the different measurements and things that make guitar players happy. I'm so proud of this particular guitar. I think I just love that it's a carved top T-type with traditional tones to die for, but it feels like a modern playing, easy on the hand, easy on the eye beast. It comes in a professional hard case, really, really solid, well made, lots of space to put stuff in, and it comes with my love and respect. And my thanks to the team at Chapman who made this dream come true for me, because I'm going to be playing this for a long, long time. Anyway, I've been Rob Chapman from Chapman Guitars. You guys take it easy. Stay tuned for lots more reviews of the loads and loads and loads of new guitars from the 2017 Chapman Guitars range. Take it easy. Chappers out. Yes, I've got new glasses.